Quick question for you. How do you pronounce the capital of Kentucky? Is it A, Leweyville, or B, Lewisville? Think about it. Pick your answer. Maybe even say it out loud. Locked in? Great. Well, here's the thing. It doesn't matter how you pronounce it, because the capital of Kentucky isn't Louisville at all. It's Frankfort. That's right. The capital of Kentucky is actually Frankfort, not Louisville. If you got that wrong, don't feel bad. I've seen plenty of smart people, even lifelong Kentuckians, fall for it. And that's because of something called the framing trap. The way I worded that question led your brain to make an assumption that Louisville is the capital without me ever actually saying it. This same trap happens all the time in business. The way a problem is framed can steer decisions in the wrong direction, even when the underlying facts haven't changed. The framing trap happens when the way information is presented influences our decisions more than the actual facts. The same data, framed differently, can lead to completely different choices. This bias is everywhere. Marketers use it all the time. 90% fat-free sounds healthier than contains 10% fat, even though both mean the same thing. The words shape how we feel about the choice. Here's another example of how framing can affect our decisions. Imagine someone thinking, I need a bigger house. That framing makes it seem like there's only two real options. 1, buy a bigger house. 2, stay in the current house. Pretty limited, right? Now, instead, let's frame it as the ratio of stuff to space in my house is too high. Suddenly, new solutions appear. Buy a bigger house, get rid of some stuff, find alternative storage options, rearrange the space more efficiently, or learn to live with it. Just by reframing that problem, we've expanded the possible solutions. This same principle applies to business and leadership decisions. If you're only seeing a few choices, the problem might not be the options, it's how the problem is framed. Now that we've seen how framing impacts decision-making, let's look at how to avoid falling into this trap. Step 1 of Enabling Empowerment's decision-making framework is to define the opportunity. This is where framing happens. If you get the framing wrong, your choices will be limited. If you get it right, you'll open the door to better solutions. Here are strategies to help avoid the framing trap. Number 1, understand the problem before framing it. Go see the issue firsthand and talk to different stakeholders. The more perspectives you gather, the better your framing will be. Number 2, reframe the problem as an opportunity. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, ask how you can turn the situation into a positive change. Number 3, ask, are my options too limited? If your problem statement only leads to 1 or 2 solutions, it's likely framed too narrowly. Broaden it to generate more alternatives. Number 4, test your framing with others. Before committing, check your framing with different people. Ask, does this make sense? Am I missing something? Number 5, challenge existing frames. Don't accept the way a problem is initially presented to you. Frame it in multiple ways and see how the available choices shift. And finally, use natural, fact-based language. Be mindful of emotionally charged wording. Keep descriptions objective and avoid bias in decision-making. Applying these steps helps you frame decisions in a way that encourages creative problem solving and broadens potential solutions rather than restricting your choices. Framing is a powerful tool, whether you're making strategic business decisions, negotiating, or leading a team. Being aware of the framing trap can help you make more rational, objective choices. Next time you're presented with information, take a step back and ask yourself, is this the full picture or just the way it's being framed?